meteorologist Ron Rhodes.
We have an ice storm warning that begins at 6 o'clock tonight, lasts until 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I think the worst of this event, as far as the freezing rain, coming down as rain, be pouring down, and then glazing the surface with ice, that is going to be basically between midnight and noon. It looks like in the early afternoon, even though it's going to go on a little bit longer down in western Kentucky, but by early afternoon, I think most of us, Evansville, Henderson, Owensboro, points to the north from there too, will have already seen the change over to sleet and snow. But we're still talking about several hours of rain, freezing rain anyway, that is going to add up. And the ice accumulations could be anywhere from about a quarter of an inch along the north of the river, long and north of the river, and to about 3/4 of an inch is possible down along the western Kentucky Parkway. So a lot of us falling in that half-inch range. Nothing close to 09 when we had up to 2 inches across western Kentucky, but still probably the worst we've seen since then. So we take a look at downtown Evansville, rain-soaked for sure, and it's all just rain in Evansville, and it's only going to be rain, it looks like, throughout the afternoon. It's going to be in the evening that we see the changeover. We'll take a look at the timing here on Future Tracker here in a second. Roof claim camera, look at that long barge running along the Ohio River. That is just under the Blue Bridge right now as it continues to truck to the west, and we're looking right now at the Diamond Valley Federal Credit Union camera, and of course that is 66 and 69, busy interchange. A lot of folks out there right now probably getting some grub before the ice. 46 degrees, wind is currently calm. Wind is not going to stay calm though. It's going to be from the south for a little while longer, then shift to the north once that cold front pushes through at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. So the wind's going to be a bit of a factor too. Florida's still hanging on to 32 degrees, and so it's right at that freezing point. 33 in Fairfield, though, and that's dropped 12 degrees in the past 4 or 5 hours. And then you got 45 in Carmi, so the colder air is still, for the most part, up to the northwest, but the changeover is going to come soon enough. But the worst of the freezing rain is not going to be where the changeover comes first. They're going to be changing over to snow a lot earlier. We could see up to ½ a foot of snow on the northwest corner of the tri-state. Right now it's rain and just a little bit of light rain. Evansville and points down to the south, just kind of spitting rain in some areas of western Kentucky. It's not a big deal there. Heavier precipitation is up to the north, and again, you could see radar indicating we could be seeing a little bit of a mix out there or some freezing rain in the Flora area. So the northwest corner of the tri-state, elsewhere it's just rain, and again, nothing too heavy along and south of the rivers. We take a look at Storm Tracker. They've already seen some ice and snow in St. Louis, and it could be an incredible snowstorm, you know, through central Illinois into northern Indiana, where they could see better than a foot of snow out there. But for us, obviously, we're concerned more with the freezing rain. Just rain, though, throughout the afternoon as we kind of time it. It looks like the changeover to freezing rain, the latest update on our Future Tracker, is still going to be west of the Wabash at 3 o'clock, and it's going to be at 5:30, starting to nose its way to the east of the Wabash River, pretty much cooling from northwest to southeast across the tri-state. So we should be seeing up around Princeton. At that point, Vincennes, it looks like that will be the changeover to freezing rain as the temperature drops below freezing. And here we are. It's pushed it back a little bit here in Evansville to 7, 8 o'clock in that range when we see the changeover. Still, Jasper up around 9 o'clock. It looks like the changeover. For Owensboro, it's now pushing it back to around 10 o'clock on the latest run in our Future Tracker. Look at the breaks out there, though, around midnight. That'd be a good time for the road crews to get back out and treat again before we get the second wave. And this is going to be the bigger deal that's out there. You can see that freezing rain first thing tomorrow morning, 6:30. We're pretty much engulfed with the freezing rain, a little bit of sleet closer to the snow line. And mainly snow at that point north of 64 in southern Illinois. When we go through the morning, we're still talking about freezing rain. Now we've got the snow changeover, the sleet and snow changeover around midday tomorrow here in Evansville. Still looking at freezing rain across much of western Kentucky, though, for a good chunk of the afternoon before it changes over to a little bit of snow and tapers off heading into evening. And then as we roll through the night, not a whole lot going on until first thing Friday morning, and then another shot of snow. Got a little salt on the old wound right there. As far as the ice and snow forecast, we're talking about anywhere from about a quarter of an inch of ice here in the Evansville area to about a ½ an inch. And I think in some areas along the western Kentucky Parkway, as much as 3/4 of an inch of ice out there. Significant icing for sure. It's going to be a little bit more of a snow event to the north of Evansville, especially north of 64, but they're still going to have a layer of ice. And really, even in Princeton, Petersburg, Jasper, you could have up to a quarter of an inch of ice underneath the snow on top of it. But you can see 1 to 3 inches of snow on top of that. And again, up to a ½ a foot in the northwest corner up around Fairfield, Flora, and Olney. 47 is what I'm calling it for a high this afternoon. Really, we're pretty much at our high. We're going to see the temperatures falling through the afternoon, down through the 30s and in below the freezing mark by early evening under mostly cloudy sky. North wind's going to shift to the south. Actually, a south wind's going to shift to the north at 10 to 20 miles an hour is the way it's going to work. So plenty of wind out there. The 3-degree guarantee, I called for a high yesterday of 59. It got up to 64. Who's complaining? It was beautiful out there. So I don't mind missing on the low end on of February day. That was, of course, February 1st. What a beautiful start to the month, and what a rotten second and third and fourth days, as temperatures are going to be falling throughout the afternoon. Again, rain changing to freezing rain tonight. Got the ice storm warning beginning at 6 tonight, lasting through the day on Thursday into Friday morning. 27 for a high tomorrow, 28 for a high on Friday. So that ice and that snow sticking around for a little bit. We finally thaw out, though, over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine out there this weekend, though, Angie. So got that going for us.
I have one thing to say.
What's that?
Yesterday was nice.
Yesterday was beautiful. Happy birthday to your husband, George.
Happy birthday, honey. Yay.
And check this out. It's also Groundhog Day. We had a local couple up there in Punxsutawney, PA, up at Gobbler's Knob. It was Joe Gilpatrick and Chastity DISHON. And Chastity and Joe, there they are this morning. Right before, or maybe right after, I think Phil saw his shadow. I think that's a little bit before. It looks like it's still pretty dark out there right there.
That's neat, though.
Yeah, shout out to a
neat.
local couple up there, yeah.
I know you're looking right over there because LT is here with some Hetty's pizza for your game day table. Yeah!